Hey, what's up guys, it's Girl Hands, and long time no see. It's been a little while since I've done a video commentary, and a big reason for that is I've just been really busy both with work and other activities as well, and I'll get into more about what those activities are later on in the video, but a great way to start a commentary, huh? Getting chainsawed into 1,000 tiny little hamburger patties because I wasn't paying attention. I always feel like there's one jackass in the center of the ring with a chainsaw revved up just waiting for anybody to come in there, and I'm the idiot who rushes in there not paying attention and I get killed by it. I love using the chainsaw. I think it's an awesome gameplay feature for Gears of War 3, but man does it suck getting killed by the chainsaw. I feel like it has these vortex abilities that just suck you into its blades and there's nothing you can do to avoid it. Although I probably could have avoided that chainsaw if I hadn't been a moron and rolled into the corner. Man, I am batting 1,000 right now. I need to step up my game. If I could change one thing about the chainsaws, I'd fix the chainsaw duels. Instead of just tapping B to win it, it'd work something like this. That's right, screw just tapping B to win the chainsaw duel. You should suit up in a panda suit and just pull out a chainsaw and wail on each other, and the last man standing wins that bitch. Honestly, that wouldn't work in Gears of War 3. That's some gameplay footage from the DLC. I forgot when it came out. It was like a week or two ago, but the new Genki Bowl DLC for Saints Row the Third. If you are a big fan of the game, then I would recommend going to pick it up, but if you're not really crazy about it, or if you don't have the extra Microsoft points, then you might want to hold off, just because it was fun, don't get me wrong. I mean, they did a really good job of introducing new mission types, and they had somewhat of a story, and I had a blast playing it. It was a lot of fun. It was definitely funny, but it was short. It was somewhere in the ballpark of like an hour and a half to 2 hours. So I don't know. I think it was like 18, not 18. It was either 800 or 1,200 Microsoft points, and for that much money, for only an hour and a half to 2 hours of gameplay, you could probably hold off for something better like Dungeon Defenders, which I will be talking about later in the week. I think that game is absolutely awesome. But speaking of DLC, I haven't done a commentary in a while, and I haven't had a chance to talk about the new Phoenix Rising DLC, which I am absolutely loving. The only map that I do not like is Escalation, but who the hell likes Escalation? I don't know anybody who likes that map. The only thing I remember about Gears of War 3 in terms of maps is Escalation, and the reason I remember that map is because I hated it so much. Not sure why they brought it back. I think it works horribly for King of the Hill. I don't even think it works well for any game mode. Maybe execution, but any game mode that requires you to respawn, it just doesn't work very well. But all the other maps work great, especially for King of the Hill. I think they're all designed very well so that the hills are extremely accessible, and they're easy for you to break if you work kind of with your team. I think one of the problems I have with some of the other maps, like say for instance Gridlock in the restaurant and the bank locations, once a team takes control of the hill, it is very, very difficult to break it and retake control of that hill. Especially if you're playing solo. If you don't have a very organized, coordinated effort, it's damn near impossible to take that hill back. But it isn't really the case with a lot of these maps. They're kind of free-flowing. There's a lot of different access points to the hill, so there's people constantly breaking it and retaking it. Just kind of like a wave of people fighting each other, pushing each other back and forth. So I think they work really well. I think it keeps the pacing up fairly high, and that was one of the things I was kind of concerned about with these maps. Is I thought they were going to be much larger than a lot of the typical Gears of War 3 maps, and I thought that would drop the overall pacing, but I'm not really having that problem at all. And right now, as it stands, I think my favorite map is the Slab. There's a lot of close quarters combat, a lot of shotgun combat, but also some long lines of sights as well. So it's a good mix of gameplay, and I think there's only one real big. No, actually, there's a ton of power weapons on this map. But no, yeah, I think this map works out really well. I think my only huge gripe with the DLC is I'm not seeing a lot of these maps popping up in rotation. I think I've played the Slab maybe 4 or 5 times since it's been launched. Academy maybe twice, Anvil once or twice. They just don't pop up very often in the different game modes that I'm playing. I think probably the best solution for that would be to make a special player's choice playlist that only used the DLC as maps. So you could vote on whatever game mode you wanted, but the maps would only be from the DLC. That way you can try out different game modes on the new maps and see how they play and just get your overall opinion on your favorite map and your favorite game mode on those different maps. I think that would work out a little better, just so you can see these maps more often in rotation. Other than that, I think it's great. I think I like these maps a little bit more than the first map pack launch. So yeah, loving it so far. I think it's working out great. What else is there? Oh yeah, Hypefestation. I haven't had a chance to talk about that as well. If you don't know what Hypefestation is, it's a competitive Gears of War 3 tournament. It was a 32 team tournament. It was like double elimination. I think like 31 of the teams were from the United States and one team was from Europe, but it was absolutely awesome to watch. They live streamed the entire event. I think my only complaint is sometimes they would take breaks. They wouldn't tell you why or how long they were going to be. So sometimes you were left wondering when the gameplay was going to start up again. But it was cool because you had both commentary about how the games was playing. They were talking about different strategies, and you also had a chance to listen in to the actual players as they competed, listening to their different callouts. I thought it was awesome. It was great to see some of the best players in the game, how they go about playing the game, how do they utilize strategies. I definitely had a chance to pick up on different things. Obviously, I can't execute on it in a normal game. I'm having trouble just playing it in a normal quick match, but I am picking up a little, or I did get a chance to see different people's play style and hopefully pick up some tips from how they play the game. And a big hopeful for this with Hypefestation is hopefully it will allow Gears of War 3 to get picked up in MLG, which I hope it does happen. I think Gears is an extremely competitive, extremely awesome game, and I definitely think it deserves to get picked up by MLG, but we'll have to wait and see. And finally, to conclude the video, I talked about doing other activities. Be prepared for some Mass Effect 3 videos as well. I'm not going to be putting up anything for Mass Effect 3 because I don't know anything about the game, but I have been working on, I'll show it up in the right hand corner, different models for Mass Effect 3, either for intros or just for content. One of the things I like to do is computer animation and computer graphics. Just one of the little hobbies I like to do, and I've been working on models for Mass Effect 3 and also for Gears of War 3. I've got some of that stuff as well. But hope you guys are having a great week, and like always, take it easy.